Ah, it's on the wrong screen. There we go. Welcome everyone to the season finale of Ttc in Abu Dhabi. I'm commentating last minute, stepping in for my best friend Nel, who is apparently sick. Get well soon. First drivers coming out of pits now. So we have the beautiful Tatum Restec sponsoring on the track. Didn't bother changing it to neutrality before the race, so you have to enjoy it. I was checking the standings. Apparently, due to TF10 pulling up with only one driver, Thomas Eng and Sim Racing are guaranteed champions this season. So congrats to them. I understand Marcel Paps is driving his final race with TF10 as well. Recently saw an announcement of him leaving. To be honest, I expected two TF10 drivers, just for a beautiful championship decider. One way more important than Sunday. But I guess, as we already see the DRS marker being broken, and brake marks as well, interesting lines. I guess we won't see a title decider. I mean, the driver's title is still on for Marcel. He's 28 points behind Scott Holmes, who is currently leading for Thomas and Sim Racing. But he's the only one in the top 5 who's actually driving. So if he wins, he will become the driver's champion this season in TTC. So, first one on a lap will be René Klein. So let's watch him for IRT, who are I'm not fully sure. I haven't seen the standing. I haven't remembered the standings below third anymore, but I'm pretty sure they're guaranteed in 4th place. So let me check the standings real quick. They're not guaranteed 4th. I mean, GSR team has closed, so they are guaranteed 4th. Tatum Restec guaranteed 3rd, TF10 guaranteed 2nd, and TS guaranteed 1st. So I don't think we will see any changes in the standings, but it's interesting to see how the final race will unfold. So René already in sector 3. I haven't seen the split times. Actually, AMS driver Jakub being the first one to complete the lap. I completely missed it. McLaren, that has to be Formula Guy. I just started the lap, okay. René goes fastest by half a second with a 21.7. From what I remember, it's a pretty decent banker. Ryan Cox, 6 tenths now behind Dennis Langrock with a 21.4. 2 tenths faster than Dennis, 4 tenths faster than Frank. Lucas Beisner now setting a lap. 21.4, but invalid. Okay. Marcel Paps without competitive lap time. So next to cross the line, probably one of the Shera cars. Who goes second? Louis, I don't... Sorry for butchering the... And Inversizo with the third place. 2 and 3 for Shera Esports. Pretty good start, if you ask me. And Chuli with the 9th fastest time. We've got, I think, Kai crossing the line now. Split time 51.8. It's gonna be barely valid at 22.1. Puts him behind Ryan. A 4th row lockout as it stands for Tatum. Got EMS driver here with a beautiful toe or impeding. I don't know, you call it. It looks like he's on a hot lap. Taking that toe, thank you very much, he says. And he... Yeah. That wasn't ideal. Still an invalid lap for Lucas. Gotta keep it within the white lines. Stanislav not on a competitive lap. MS driver also pitting, was invalid. So that's it for the first runs. Dennis Langrock leading by less than a tenth over the two Shera Esports cars. And now we wait. Oh, I haven't tested this. Oh, it does bring you to like... I'm gonna put away my controller then. How do you go past 10th then? I'm wondering now. I guess you don't? You can only do this with the top 10? Yeah. So we have Marcel. Is he on a lap? Not a competitive one. But will he start one? Nope, he is also pitting, which means that we're now gonna check with Rene, who should be the first one out. Someone else has joined, and left already. I don't know which team he's a part of, but I think we were supposed to have 15 drivers, so must have been an intruder. Anyway. Rene now in sector 3 as we wait for him to start his lap. To turn 1 he goes a little wide. That didn't look like the ideal exit from turn 1, but we move. Seems like Rene is not backing down. Currently, yeah, 1.5 tenths down on his previous lap time. Big lockup into the chicane. Doesn't look like it's going to be a competitive lap time. But I might be wrong. This game is quite unpredictable, if you ask me. Nice. Half second down, won't be competitive lap time. Let's watch with Jakub, who is also down on his lap. Not the greatest days for these guys. Doesn't seem like he's pushing on, so let's watch the other AMS driver. Oli Latva Rasku, if I pronounce it correctly. Goes a bit wide in the chicane, but seems like he's the only one still on the lap. Goes purple as well in sector 2, but I know there's a glitch that pretends that you're driving a purple sector 2, but you aren't. But who knows? Let's keep watching him. And ooh, big slip there. Now try not to do a Latifi. He's fine. He's fine. What will the lap time be? It will be a 1:22.8. Puts him in 12th. 1 second behind. As we are now watching in for Cizo, who's invalidated. Who's the next car up? That must be Stanislav for AERT. He's done a 51.7 split, which is 1/10 faster, if I remember correctly, than Formula Kai. So he's aiming to be around P7 or P8. And it's P6 actually for Stanislav. Good lap. So the Red Bulls are now crossing the line. Chuli with a 9th place and Joaquin with 11th. As I think Frank has just set the 3rd fastest time. Starting to lose track of who's doing which lap. I think Luis, no, he's pitting. He's invalidated this lap. I think next one is Dennis. He's improving by 1/10, and there he goes. New fastest time. But only 1,000 faster. 1,000 faster on his own lap time. Wow. And of course, the brain rotted Dennis using the number 67. Am I surprised? Not really. I think Marcel's on a lap. Yep, he's improving by 1/10. Let's see if he can challenge Dennis. He doesn't. He stays in P4 as Lucas makes it a TS12. Great day for the team so far. Don't think we have anyone notable on the lap. Is no. So we're gonna play the waiting game now. Very busy pit lane. Well, I was gonna say how long we have left, but with the caution in sector 3, we won't be able to see the timer. Thank you, Codemasters, for once again this beautiful feature where the clock does, there we go, 4 minutes left. So I assume we won't see much more for about 2 minutes until everyone goes out. But Kirano has decided, hell yeah, I'm going out early. Kirano now starts his lap. While I sort my tabs. My apologies. Very wide into the chicane. Oh. Yep, and he's backed out. Not ideal. The next one on a lap will be Infrasizo. So, let's watch him. He thinks Kirano hasn't backed out. I would think the same. But he definitely has. Big moment in the chicane, so competitive lap time and improvement was not in the cards anymore. Infrasizo about to start his lap. So we see a pretty close gap between the top four. Less than a tenth between them. Can this change into the final runs? As it stands, Infrasizo will be the first driver to finish the final lap. As I'm having massive screen freezes all of a sudden. Use Chicago Medicine. I didn't see that sponsor before. Have you guys? Interesting camera from the Haas, but yep. Improvement for Infrasizo, looking to challenge Marcel for P5 as it stands, but not quite there yet. Needs to find another half a tenth in Sector 3. Which is looking pretty clean so far. Survived Latifi corner. Bit wide at the final corner, but acceptable. And what's it gonna be? 1/10 improvement, but not enough. Not enough to improve past P6. As Rene sets the third time, bringing the gap down to 1/10 between the 5 best drivers. Formula Kai about to finish his lap, I think. And he pits. That's P13 start, as it stands for Formula Kai. Not ideal. Marcel staying where he is. He needs to win the Drivers' Championship. As it stands, P6 is not quite where he needs to be, but the points are given in the race. So Ryan Cox in P9. Stanislav still in the lap. Big improvement. Might actually challenge for pole. So let's watch him. If he can find that little time in Sector 3, he will be on provisional pole for AERT. Would be a big moment for them. As actually Lucas says no. Lucas says try to beat this then. As he sets the new pole time. And what does Stanislav do? He beats him! 21.427 for Stanislav for AERT. Provisional pole. I don't think anything's changing. Infrasizo's done his lap. And now Kirano. It's gonna be an AERT pole either way, but Kirano is not doing a competitive lap. Seems to have broken his wing as well. Could it have been a case of impeding for Kirano? Could have been a victim of that, but the party at ART is ongoing. It's already started early because Stanislav, out of nowhere, puts it on pole. GG's. And I see Grumpy in the chat, AERT on pole. He's surprised. And yeah, to be honest, so am I. So, big congratulations on the pole position. And I hope for you that this performance carries through into the race. And big ups to Stanislav for delivering when it matters the most. A 121.427 beats the test drivers by 3 and 6 hundredths. And I see Dennis with the gap of 0.067. A gap he's really gonna like. I can tell already. He's probably streaming right now. Probably looking at the result and laughing his ass off. But alright. It is what it is, right? So, yep. About to start the race. I don't know the procedure exactly. Marcel complaining about a delta bug. Interesting. We have overcast conditions, it seems, or at least light cloud here in Abu Dhabi. Pretty uncommon. If I have to use one brain cell, but one brain cell is all I have, so might be wrong. But I think it's pretty uncommon. So we'll see how the race unfolds, if there's going to be any rare case of weather in Abu Dhabi, which I'm pretty sure no one is prepared for, so it would be fun, but let's not count on it. Seen a few new followers coming in. 3 new followers. Thank you, Grumpy. Thank you, Nell. And thank you, Old Swedish Man. That's the name I'm seeing, Old Swedish Man. Nothing else. Thank you very much. So we have a nice, lovely view on the pits. Isn't it just beautiful? Let's see which drivers' garages are we seeing. Oh, never mind. The lights are on. And it's pedal to the metal in Abu Dhabi. Stanislav with a pretty good launch. I think the lead is safe into turn 1. There's a sandwich. And round goes Lucas Beisner. Not the ideal start for the champions. As I see a piece of McLaren front wing as well. I think Kais got damage. Ooh. Yep, that's his end plate gone. Both his end plates actually are gone on both sides. Not the ideal start. Stanislav still with a healthy lead. Is Dennis gonna try anything? Nah. As he shouldn't. Brake boards gone on lap 1. As we see Luis with a pretty optimistic move. Or defending, I don't know exactly. My brain capacity is being exceeded at the moment. I think this... Okay, no, the Williams looks fine. I thought someone else had damage as well, but I'm not sure. Seems like Lucas was caught up in a sandwich between the Williams guys, the IRT drivers. Became victim of it. Spun around. The Oscar Piastri style last year in Abu Dhabi, if you remember. As Stanislav keeps his lead. A 5/10 lead going into lap 2 now. Dennis following him. Very hungry Dennis. Sky pits for a new front wing probably. Lost his end plate on both sides, so I would do the same. I think something happened to Kirano as well. Does he have any damage? No, he doesn't have any damage. Maybe just spun out, locked up or something. Chuli with a move. But Oli not making it happen. Ooh, little wheel banging. Actually, for the lead, Dennis has just overtaken Stanislav. Looks like a simple DRS overtake to me. We see the Red Bull. Probably Chuli still fighting the Ferrari. Ooh, switchback. Are we seeing the switchback? Not quite. As, of course, both cars have DRS. And Chuli dropping behind Joaquin now. His teammate. So this is probably the closest battle we've got right now. Let's have a look at position changes. As we see Oli being the biggest winner. 5 positions up on where he started. From last to P10. Dennis setting the fastest lap. Almost breaking out of DRS. The biggest loser being Lucas Beisner, of course. You saw the lap 1 incident that he was involved in. Unfortunate for him. Not his fault. Probably a racing incident. Misjudgment from all 3 drivers. But definitely one that Lucas probably wants his stewards to see. So, we'll see. Can Stanislav put a challenge on Dennis? The gap is getting smaller, but it seems like Stanislav is choosing to keep his engine cool. As we see a move. Inversizo getting past Frank. And beautiful camera angles provided by the game. Cannot see anything else. As we have a very close gap between Joaquin and... Oh, that's actually a very close gap. As Joaquin overtakes Oli, and so does Chuli. Both Red Bulls now ahead of the Ferrari. Meanwhile, Ryan Cox putting pressure on Frank. Scarano gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits already. It's pretty quick. Stanislav now really close to Dennis. Can the ART driver recover his lead? We'll see when the DRS zone comes around. Pretty interesting that we've already seen a few overtakes. More than I'm used to on F125. So big ups to the drivers for actually overtaking. But expect the middle part of the race to be extremely boring. You're probably already used to that. A lot of managing. Probably me also wanting to end it all. End the commentary early. Yes, Ryan. Oh, he taps Frank. Doesn't look like there's any damage, but that was too close for comfort. Probably peed his pants after that. Can he look to make an overtake on Frank? Doesn't look like it. Frank just minding his business, and the game not allowing any overtaking. So Frank doesn't really need to defend. Got Marcel now pretty close behind Ryan as well. A whole train forming between P1 and P9. As we see Frank pitting already. It's pretty early. That's pretty early. Let's check in with Stanislav. If he can put up a challenge for Dennis once again. Got the DRS zone coming up. No antics into turn 5 like Max did. Playing it safe. Playing it very safe for his engine as well. Saving his engine. Looking if he can attack later on. And there goes Marcel with a late dive bomb into the chicane. Overtaking Ryan. Ryan's gonna have to speak to me after this race. For letting that happen. Grumpy giving props to Stanislav. Wish this guy was available every race. Way too busy, yeah, unfortunately. Life can be cruel sometimes if you're a grown-up. Or maybe almost a grown-up. Having a lot of exams or something. IRT going for the early pit stops. Rene also in the pits. Ryan pretty close behind Marcel as well. He's a cop. Wow. I guess having experience in the high-speed police chases helps with your pace and tire management. So, natural talent, I guess. So the Red Bulls are pretty close together. Actually, too close together. They need to make sure not to collide. Not to lose DRS either. Lucas is on their back. Can he make something happen? Yes, he can, but can he stick it? Of course he sticks it. Lucas back up into P9 now. Trying to recover from the loss of lap 1. What? He locks up, but what an overtaking spot. That's very unconventional. He tries to keep it stick. He makes it stick. It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive shenanigans from Lucas there. To reclaim P8. And we've been treated with a few overtakes now this lap. And now we need to wait another 5 to get the next one. So, how's your day been, guys? Yes, exactly. Yeah. Let's just watch Stanislav. Can he put another challenge for Dennis? Doesn't look like it. F125, ladies and gentlemen. We have an overtake. Actually takes back P8 from Lucas. But it looks like Lucas is angling his car to attack the Red Bull once again. Overtake on 2 consecutive laps. Wow. I see the viewer count has halved. I completely understand you guys. Why would you want to watch an F125 race? It's like that addiction that we don't even want, but we have it. And we have another close gap, but that's meaningless because there's no DRS zone. Guess we'll just have to watch like this. I'm just monitoring gaps at the moment. Let's check the tires. I haven't seen the tires. So, top 11 all on 7 lap old mediums. Bottom 4 all on hards. We've had some movements, and that's Lucas making moves, but losing a lot of ground to Ryan. I wouldn't say that was the smartest move then, but I guess it's worth the track position. As Jakub says, nope, you ain't getting it from me, bruv. And he's back up into P7 as Kai. I saw we got a penalty, probably for track limits. Lap 8 still pretty early to have these kinds of penalties, but I guess it is what it is. And the most entertaining battle we have so far is in this train. A train from Jakub to Ollie. The AMS sandwich. Actually, Chalkit, we have a battle for the wooden spoon as well. Kirano closing up on Kai. As he takes probably the dumbest penalty I've seen in a while. Sorry to be that blunt, but you don't cut the inside of that corner easily. As the viewer count has dropped again. I completely understand you guys, but yeah, guess it's not good for my revenue. Kirano very close on Kai's gearbox, but doesn't want to make a move. I guess he's waiting for this DRS zone. And the move is probably gonna happen now. Kai already going to the inside, letting him by, not really defending. And that's P14 for Kirano. Let's go back to Stanislav. Yeah, I don't think the order has changed since lap 2. Like from the top 5 or 6. Oh. It's a pretty calm race for them. And there goes Marcel. He said, never mind, mate. I'll make a move for you. Just to make you happy. Thank you for the little piece of entertainment, Marcel. But you need to gain 3 more to take the championship lead, you know? So, how about you fight for a win, buddy? Drivers' Championship is on the line, and we seeing a move around the outside for Lucas. He makes it stick as well. Wow. Pretty good job. Now we go back to sleeping. Lucas gets the penalty for entering the pits. Is that still an ongoing bug in Abu Dhabi? Still not fixed? Really? That's disappointing. Anyway, he comes out behind the RT drivers. Not just a bit behind the RT drivers. I think the RT drivers have done a pretty good strategy. Undercut being pretty powerful, but do they need to stop again? I don't know. They're pretty much on the edge. But let's see. How's everyone enjoying this race? Still awake? As Invisizo, Stanislav and Marcel go into the pits. This might be the most entertaining part of the race, the strategy battle. Are Dennis, Louise and Ryan gonna respond to this? And it looks like Rene and Frank are up to P5 and 6. But on much older tires. So how is that gonna pay off? Because as it stands, it looks like Rene and Frank have the lead. They have the net lead right now. And not just a net lead, that's 7 seconds. Oof. RT have either cooked or either destroyed their race by pitting early, but we'll find out towards the end. As the viewer count has risen again, I think people are realizing that pit window is now. Or just trying to look at the other team strategies. Hello guys. Ryan and Louise are pitting, but Dennis is staying out. Race leader staying out. Trying to extend his tire life. Not sure about the effectiveness. Hear me now. Effectiveness of the strategy, because RT is catching up. It's only 11 seconds now. I think it's a long shot for Dennis to overtake them. But of course, with RT pitting after like lap 5, was it? And lap 6, they really need to look after their tires. So I'm curious to see how this race is going to unfold for them. But Marcel's pretty close to Stanislav, putting him under pressure. Reminder that Marcel needs a win to win the Drivers' Championship. No other driver in the top 5 is driving, so a win will secure it no matter what. But not winning will not secure it. So it's either Marcel Pabst or Scott Holmes who wins the Drivers' Championship this season. And TS already guaranteed to win the Team Championship. TF10 guaranteed P2. Tatum Rustek guaranteed P3. IRT guaranteed P4. And so it goes. Dennis is pitted, came out P8. Well, he's got the tire life advantage, but it's not that big compared to Lucas and Luis. I'd say they messed up the strategy. Yes, safe to say they messed up. But we never know how it's gonna be at the end of the race, but it looks like Luis has got the upper hand on him. Now, if the IRT drivers, after the pit window, in 1-2. This could have been a strategic masterclass, but we'll see it out. And we've got Ryan going for the overtake on Lucas. And he makes it stick. That's my boy. That's my boy. Sorry for showing bias. Everyone knows I'm a Tatum team member. And even if you don't know me, you can see it by the logos trackside. Tell me what you think about them. Aren't they just beautiful? Got another close battle here between Inverciso and Marcel. Well, battle, just a close gap, I guess. Stanislav really catching up to IRT, by the way. Gap down to 3 seconds. So their strategical masterclass, not as much as a masterclass as I expected. But who knows? Maybe with some god tier defending, they can still keep their 1-2. It's not out of the window, but Stanislav is catching up really quick, and so is the train behind him. So we see a battle. Same corner again. Seems like the only corner where overtakes are even possible. Apart from the chicane where the Verkai is a dive bomb. But turn 10 being the only one where natural overtakes are possible. Which really keeps P10. Stanislav meanwhile closing in by a second per lap. I think IRT has what looked like a very optimistic strategy. What looked like a very good strategy and a very good call. Turning out not so good. And Stanislav prepared to take back that lead. Does this mean that tire degradation is really quick in Abu Dhabi? Because pitting like 2 or 3 laps later also cost Dennis 3 positions compared to Stanislav. Effectively eliminating him from the race. But we've got Marcel. And Marcel wants to win. I think he heard me. And he wants the Drivers' Championship. And he takes P3 now. And now he's the one attacking the RT drivers. That's an interesting twist to his race. Marcel's still in it for the Drivers' Championship. A fun fact about Marcel. I played Rocket League with him once. Don't think he remembers me, but I actually did play Rocket League with him once. He's pretty good at Rocket League. So if F1 doesn't work out anymore, he has a second option. As Frank pits again, proving to be a two-stop strategy for IRT, and what looked like an optimistic day turns out in pure disappointment for IRT. Can Rene hold on? That's only a question. Say if he keeps the DRS to Marcel, I'd say he has a pretty good chance of maintaining a podium. But that's only if the tires listen to him. As Dennis passes Stanislav, who's dropped off. Got some actual racing now. Probably missed Inverciso's passed on Stanislav as well. So Marcel, as we just saw, into turn 10, is now in the lead. And as it stands, he will be the winner of the TTC Drivers' Championship as Rennie Klein comes in and puts an end to an optimistic day for IRT. We're now probably both outside the top 10. Or, what's also possible is that the rest also needs to stop one more time. And if that's the case, with Carano now retiring in the pits, so shouldn't be safety car. If that's the case, then IRT are back in a good place, but I don't see it happening, frankly. Look at the tire age from Dennis, for example. Pretty young tires, if you ask me. And pretty much equal with IRT. Well, IRT are on one stop more. Did they just kill the tires or something? As Dennis takes back P2. Tire advantage proving to be massive. He's already caught up to Marcel. Dennis trying to earn his teammate the Drivers' Championship. Marcel trying to earn it himself as Lucas Beisner gets another 3-second penalty. Preciso trying to get into Dennis's head, but I don't think he will get into Dennis's head because Dennis's head is full of brain rot. So in that case, that works in Dennis's favor. This might have brought my brought home my TGF award for best commentary again. Well, anyway, quite funny. Guys, can you just overtake, please? I'm starting to get a bit hungry. So I want these last 9 laps to be a bit entertaining. Thank you. Just so it's worth my evening. Marcel keeping up pretty well. With Dennis behind with fresher tires. He's really gunning for that championship. And now my boy Ryan is has caught up to the back, the gearbox of Stanislav. What can he do? Pole sitter down in P5. This truly makes the move on Jakub, but we're watching Ryan. She's pretty close to Stanislav, but what is this slipstream? He doesn't even get closer. What is this? This game might actually be the worst F1 game ever. F1 24 had better racing. Just the worst handling, that's all. Come on, do something. P5 is within reach, mate. Anyway, let's watch the battle for the lead, because Dennis, with the number 67, why, man, why? He's catching up to Marcel. What can Dennis do? We had a yellow flag. I missed something. Was that Lucas? So one Sierra driver passes the other. That's this lap's overtake. Actually, no. Might not be limited to that one, because we have Chuli pretty close to Frank. Actually, Joaquin making the move on Jakub, as I have a hiccup, sorry. Big lockup for Joaquin. Is Dennis on the gearbox. Marcel having to look in his mirrors now. We know Dennis's idol is Max Verstappen. I think he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Wow. I think Marcel was trying to play some chicken. But Dennis has stolen the DRS. Chicken not playing to his favor. But despite the DRS for Dennis, Marcel still takes back the lead. Wow. Interesting shenanigans there. I mean, Dennis literally had the DRS, but Marcel was faster. Now Dennis has the DRS again, goes alongside, and beautiful camera angle as we see Dennis taking back that lead. Now normally at this stage of the race, things would be spiced up by someone binning it into this corner. We are entering now. But with the very little mistakes that the esports drivers make, and as I said, Lucas gets another penalty. But yeah, very little mistakes made by esports drivers. I don't assume we're gonna get a Latifi situation, so it is what it is. And Marcel now 7/10 behind Dennis, but Luis another 9/10 behind. It's a battle for the win between these two as it stands, and I don't think that's going to change. So what can Marcel do? Brought the gap down to 4/3. And has broken out of Luis's DRS. But there's really nothing that Marcel can do. One position away from winning his driver's championship But the one guy that's in the way is the Sigma Dennis Langrock. Who is saying F your championship. Trying to save it for his teammate Scott Holmes. It's the closest gap we've got now is this one. Rene and Jakub. R3 trying to salvage this race with a botch strategy. The only team to go on a 2-stop, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, Kai's done the 2-stop as well. But he had to pit early, so it makes sense. As we see Rene making a clean pass on Jakub. And back to Marcel we go, because he's got DRS. But yeah, nothing he can do really. Not powerful enough. Not got enough of an advantage to actually do something into turn 10. Because the tire advantage goes to Dennis. Which is probably pretty annoying for Marcel, who's trying to win his Drivers' Championship. Got Rene now, trying to chase the other AMS driver. So I guess we should just watch. Let's get rid of the tires. Actually, let's show the penalties. I think it's that time of the race where you can have a look at that. As we see, Lucas is set to lose 2 positions. Not ideal, all those track limits. Yeah, Rene is a sitting duck. What can he do? Nothing. This game for racing, I don't think I've seen anything worse. As yeah. The battle for the lead is also cooling down. Marcel unable to get close to Dennis. Unable to get close enough, unable to get enough of an advantage to actually pass him. Which is a shame. But we're seeing Rene. Pretty unconventional of taking spot, getting past Ollie. Unfortunately, we're going back to the cool down battle for the lead. Which is basically inexistent. With 2.5 laps to go, can Marcel do anything? It looks like he's pretty close this time, but I might be mistaken. And he goes side by side, actually. Can he do something? No, he cannot. Dennis with some good car positioning over there. Making sure that Marcel stays behind, and it's his teammate Scott is still the provisional drivers champion for Ttc this season. So we see Rene loving to make some moves. He's just made another one. Guess he's trying to make something from his day. Infrasizo's lost a lot of time. And Ryan's right on his gearbox. Can Ryan do something? Probably not into turn 1, but I think this is the closest we're getting to a position change within the top 5 for the rest of the race. Does he do a Max Verstappen? No, he doesn't. He wants that DRS. After even seeing that the DRS is not really that powerful, but fair enough, I guess. And here comes Ryan. That's my boy. Up to P4 he goes. As oh, actually, look at this. Marcel was within 1/10. Drop down now. I think Dennis got a better exit, so I don't think he's getting back side by side. Tried to get within his head though, but you know Dennis, his head is full of brain rot. You cannot get into his head, simply because his head is full of tralalero, tralala, and sigma, and skibidi and everything. You know, you don't get into his head. He's just driving and thinking of brain rot. And it's working out for him with his number 67 on the car. Because he's leading. And he looks unfazed by Marcel and Stanislav before. So big ups to Dennis. Making a weird mindset look like the best mindset. But Marcel's pretty close now. Final lap actually, and gap is 5/10. We've had a yellow flag. Lucas has gone slow. Don't know what's happened there. But we're watching the battle for the lead. I think Marcel's going all in, putting heaps of pressure, and actually got into Dennis's head now. Marcel making Dennis think of something else than brain rot. This is unseen. Unseen before in this race. And he goes side by side. Can he cut back into the inside? No, he cannot. I think Dennis has done it. There's no crazy overtaking spots anymore. I think Dennis has done it. Few corners to go. And after such a Sigma drive, and leading for about 6-7 laps, Dennis wins the final race of TTC. GG's, what a season. And Marcel just missing out on the Drivers' Championship, if I'm not mistaken. I will check for you the point system. As Lucas falls down to P11, we've got Dennis, Marcel, Luis, Ryan, Inversizo, Stanislav, Frank, Julie, Rene, and Joaquin as our top 10 for the season finale. Now let me check what will happen to the Drivers' Championship. Marcel will be P2 in the Drivers' Championship. Scott Holmes has won the Drivers' Championship. And it's a double for TS, Drivers' Champion and Team Champion. So we see Dennis griddying. Did I expect any other podium celebration? No, not really. I think I should make like some highlight reel of every time I mention the brain rot when talking about Dennis. I think he'd like it. So I hope you enjoyed this watch, everyone. Well, enjoyed is a big word. There were pretty few overtakes compared to previous games, but it is what it is, right? So that's a wrap for the season. I hope you, yeah, I already said that. I hope you enjoyed, but you probably didn't. But like, you were forced because your team is racing, or you're engineering someone, or you're managing someone, you know. I don't blame you, but I hope you still have a nice evening. And see you later.